World Famous Nursery Rhymes, Volume 2. Hush-a-bye, baby, on the tree-top. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall. Down will come baby, cradle and all. Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king? The king was in his counting house counting out his money. The queen was in the parlour eating bread and honey. The maid was in the garden hanging out the clothes, when down came a blackbird and pecked off her nose. Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub. And who do you think they be? The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. They all jumped out of a rotten potato. Turn 'em out, knaves all three. Little Tommy Tucker sings for his supper. What shall he eat? White bread and butter. How will he cut it without e'er a knife? How can he marry without e'er a wife? Now Georgie Porgy Pudding and Pie kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away. I saw a ship a-sailing on the sea, and oh, it was all laden with pretty things for thee. There were comforts in the cabin, and apples in the hold. The sails were all of silk, and the masts were made of gold. The 4 and 20 sailors that stood between the decks were 4 and 20 white mice with chains about their necks. The captain was a duck with a packet on his back, and when the ship began to move, the captain said, "Quack, quack." Little Tommy Tittlemouse lived in a little house. He caught fishes in other men's ditches. Dame Trot and her cat sat down for a chat. The dame sat on this side, the puss sat on that. "Puss," said the dame, "can you catch a rat or a mouse in the dark?" "Purr," said the cat. There was an old woman tossed up in a basket 90 times as high as the moon. And where she was going I couldn't but ask it, for in her hand she carried a broom. "Old woman, old woman, old woman," quoth I, "oh whither, oh whither, oh whither so high?" "To sweep the cobwebs off the sky." "Shall I go with you?" "Aye, by and by." Boys and girls come out to play. The moon doth shine as bright as day. Leave your supper and leave your sleep, and join your playfellows in the street. Come with a whoop, come with a call, come with a goodwill or not at all. Up the ladder and down the wall, a halfpenny loaf will serve us all. You find milk and I'll find flour, and we'll have a pudding in half an hour. Tommy was a piper's son. He learned to play when he was young, but the only tune that he could play was "Over the hills and far away." Now Tom with his pipe did play with such skill that those who heard him could never keep still. Whenever they heard him they started to dance. Even pigs on their hind legs would after him prance. Jack Sprat could eat no fat, his wife could eat no lean, and so betwixt them both, you see, they licked the platter clean. The north wind doth blow, and we shall have snow, and what will poor Robin do then, poor thing? He'll sit in a barn, and keep himself warm, and hide his head under his wing, poor thing. Fiddledy, fiddledy, the fly shall marry the humble bee. They went to church, and married was she. The fly has married the humble bee. Fiddledy, fiddledy. Dickory, dickory, dock, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 1, and down he run. Dickory, dickory, dock. 3 young rats with black felt hats, 3 young ducks with white straw flats, 3 young dogs with curling tails, 3 young cats with demi-veils went out to walk with 2 young pigs in satin vests and sorrel wigs. But suddenly it chanced to rain, and so they all went home again. Pussy-cat sits by the fire. How should she be fair? In walks the little dog, says, "Pussy, are you there?" "How do you do, Mistress Pussy?" "Mistress Pussy, how do you do?" "I thank you kindly, little dog. I fare as well as you." Ring a roses, a pocket full of posies, a tissue, we all fall down. Who killed Cock Robin? "I," said the sparrow, "with my bow and arrow, I killed Cock Robin." Who saw him die? "I," said the fly, "with my little eye, I saw him die." Who'll dig his grave? "I," said the owl, "with my little trowel, I'll dig his grave." Who'll be the parson? "I," said the rook, "with my little book, I'll be the parson." Who'll toll the bell? "I," said the bull, "because I can pull, I'll toll the bell." All the birds of the air fell a sighing and a sobbing when they heard of the death of poor Cock Robin. Some mice went into a barn to spin. Puss came by and popped her head in. "Shall I come in and help you to cut off your threads?" "Oh no, Miss Puss, you might snap off our heads." Hey diddle dinkety poppety pet, the merchants of London they wear scarlet, silk in the collar and gold in the hem, so merrily march the merchant men. Bye, baby bunting, father's gone a-hunting to fetch a little bunny skin to wrap baby bunting in. Now I had a little hen, the prettiest ever seen. She washed me the dishes and kept the house clean. She went to the mill to fetch me some flour. She brought it back in less than an hour. She baked me my bread and she brewed me my ale. She sat by the fire and told many a fine tale. Little Jenny Wren fell sick upon a time. In came Robin Redbreast and brought her cake and wine. "Eat well your cake, Jenny, drink well your wine." "Thank you, Robin, kindly, you shall be mine." Jenny she got well and stood upon her feet, and told Robin plainly she loved him not a bit. Robin he was angry, and hopped upon a twig, saying, "Out upon you, fie upon you, bold-faced jig." Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are, up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. In the dark blue sky you keep, often through my curtains peep, for you never shut your eye till the sun is in the sky. When the blazing sun is gone, when he nothing shines upon, then you show your little light, twinkle, twinkle, all the night. Then the traveller in the dark thanks you for your tiny spark. How could he see where to go if you did not twinkle so? The Queen of Hearts she made some tarts all on a summer's day. The Knave of Hearts he stole those tarts and took them clean away. The King of Hearts called for those tarts and beat the knave full score. The knave of hearts brought back those tarts, and vowed he'd steal no more. Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep, and doesn't know where to find them. Leave them alone, and they'll come home, bringing their tails behind them. Little Bo Peep fell fast asleep, and dreamt she heard them bleating. When she awoke 'twas all a joke, for they were still a-fleeting. Then up she took her little crook, determined for to find them. She found them indeed, but it made her heart bleed, for they'd left their tails behind them. It happened one day, as Bo Peep did stray into a meadow hard by, then she espied their tails side by side, all hung on a tree to dry. I had a little nut tree, and nothing would it bear but a silver nutmeg and a golden pear. The King of Spain's daughter came to visit me, and all was because of my little nut tree. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread, and whipped them all soundly, and sent them to bed. Three blind mice. See how they run. They all run after the farmer's wife, who cut off their tails with a carving knife. Did you ever see such a thing in your life as three blind mice? Handy Pandy Jack-a-Dandy loved plum cake and sugar candy. He bought some at the grocer's shop, and out he came, hop, hop, hop. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. It followed her to school one day, which was against the rule. It made the children laugh and play to see a lamb at school. And so the teacher turned it out, but still it lingered near, and waited patiently about till Mary did appear. What makes the lamb love Mary so? The eager children cry. Why, Mary loves the lamb, you know, and that's the reason why. Wynken, Blynken, and Nod one night sailed off in a wooden shoe, sailed off on a river of crystal light, into a sea of dew. Where are you going, and what do you wish? The old moon asked the three. We have come to fish for herring fish, they live in this beautiful sea. Nets of silver and gold have we, said Wynken, Blynken, and Nod. Ding dong bell, pussy's in the well. Who put her in? Little Johnny Green. Who pulled her out? Little Tommy Stout. What a naughty boy was that, to try to drown poor Pussy-cat, who never did him any harm, but killed the mice in his father's barn. When good King Arthur ruled this land, he was a goodly king. He stole 3 pecks of barley meal to make a bag pudding. A bag pudding the king did make, and stuffed it well with plums, and in it put great lumps of fat, as big as my 2 thumbs. The king and queen did eat thereof, and noblemen beside, and what they could not eat that night, the queen next morning fried. Oh, come, let's go to bed, said Sleepyhead. Tarry a while, said Slow. Put on the pan, said Greedy Nan. We'll sup before we go. Old Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard to get her poor dog a bone. But when she got there, the cupboard was bare, and so the poor dog had none. She went to the baker's to buy him some bread, but when she came back, the poor dog was dead. She went to the joiner's to buy him a coffin, but when she came back, the poor dog was laughing. She took a clean dish to get him some tripe, but when she came back, he was smoking a pipe. She went to the alehouse to get him some beer, but when she came back, the dog sat in a chair. She went to the tavern for white wine and red, But when she came back, the dog stood on his head. She went to the hatter's to buy him a hat, but when she came back, he was feeding the cat. The dame made a curtsy, the dog made a bow. The dame said, "Your servant." The dog said, "Bow wow." Cock-a-doodle-doo, my dame has lost her shoe. My master's lost his fiddling stick and doesn't know what to do. Cock-a-doodle-doo, my dame has found her shoe, and master's found his fiddling stick. Sing doodle-doodle-doo. Cock-a-doodle-doo, my dame will dance with you, while master fiddles his fiddling stick for dame and doodle-doo. Goosey, goosey gander, where shall I wander? Upstairs, downstairs, in my lady's chamber. There I met an old man who wouldn't say his prayers. I took him by his left leg and threw him down the stairs.